There is mounting pressure on school authorities and the government to shut down schools and look for alternatives to run the classes, as the National Human Rights Commission has announced that learning in a safe environment falls under students' right to basic health. The call by the rights watchdog is considered sensitive, given the Health Ministry has already warned of serious consequences if the school authorities continue to ignore the warning of health hazards amid the deadliest second wave of COVID-19. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Relieved from the post of National Assembly member, Ram Bahadur Thapa reappointed as Home Minister after losing his ministerial portfolio. The second wave of COVID-19 continues. Over 1,000 new cases detected. The NHRC calls on the government and school authority not to toy with students' health. The US warns Russia there will be consequences if the opposition activist Alexei Navalny dies in prison. The world community expresses serious concern over Navalny's health. And home team Nepal all set to take on Malaysia in today's match under the T20 Tri-Series. The match scheduled to kick off 1:15 this afternoon. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli reappointed Ram Bahadur Thapa as Home Minister yesterday. President Vidya Devi Bhandari administered the oath of office and secrecy to the reappointed Home Minister Thapa. Earlier, Ram Bahadur Thapa, the National Assembly member from the CPN Maoist Centre, was relieved from his parliamentary post, which also resulted in Thapa losing his ministerial portfolio. The Federal Parliament Secretariat had issued a notice earlier yesterday morning saying that National Assembly member Thapa had been relieved from his parliamentary post. The Parliament Secretariat also informed that the decision was taken as per the action initiated by CPN Maoist Centre. Thapa had joined hands with Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli last month by quitting the CPN Maoist Centre. Speaker Agni Sapkota has expressed his dissatisfaction over the activities of political parties, saying that efforts have been made to cordon off the parliament. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony of the newly elected members of Working Committee of the Federation of Nepalese Journalists yesterday, Speaker Sapkota, without naming anyone, stated that there had been attempts to spread rumours and to corner parliamentary activities. Aiming his remarks at Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Speaker Sapkota, however, said that in the capacity of the House Speaker, he was committed to work as per parliamentary norms and values. Speaker Sapkota also made it clear that he would not work under anyone's pressure and added that the current challenge was between those who are looking to safeguard the constitution and the system and not between individuals. It may be recalled that Prime Minister and CPN-UML Chairman KP Sharma Oli, during an all-party meeting on Saturday, had accused the Speaker of not cooperating with the government and termed the Speaker's role as immoral. Several bills tabled at the Parliament, including the American Assistance, MCC, Citizenship and the Federal Civil Service Act, are still under consideration. As the coronavirus returns with its second wave, 1,015 new cases were registered in the country yesterday, taking the total infection tally to 284,673. According to the Health Ministry, 5,084 samples were tested through the PCR method. 8 more deaths due to COVID-19 were reported yesterday, taking the COVID-19 death toll in the country to 3,083. The active caseload in the country stands at 6,290, while 85 individuals are in quarantine centres. According to the Health Ministry, the Kathmandu Valley alone recorded 435 cases, while 262 individuals registered full recovery yesterday. Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission has called on the government and school organizations not to toy with students' health. The Commission expressed its concern over the health of students attending in-person classes amid the coronavirus pandemic. The rights watchdog informed that most of the schools had failed to follow the mandatory health measures and had compelled teachers and students to be present at schools. The Human Rights Watchdog warned concerned authorities of the possibility of the COVID-19 situation spiraling out of control if adequate measures are not taken on time, and said that students are at high risk with the fast transmission of the new strain of coronavirus, saying that more than 300 students had been infected by coronavirus in the past 2 weeks alone. The National Human Rights Commission concluded that the ongoing in-person classes are likely to affect students' health. The Health Ministry has already appealed to shut all educational institutions in the 14 hardest hit districts, including the 3 districts in the Kathmandu Valley. The Commission urged schools to opt for alternative teaching methods considering the fundamental health rights of the students. Expressing its concern over the conflicting statements issued by 2 ministries regarding the operation of educational institutions, the Commission urged one and all to take the situation with seriousness and follow the instructions of the Health Ministry. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the local residents in Bara what should be done to protect communities from fire-related disasters. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
हरेक नागरिक भित्र यो चेतना हुनु पर्यो कि बच्चाहरूलाई अब यो लाइटर सलाइहरू चाहिँ नि अब ठाउँमा राख्नु पर्यो।
टोलमा कार्बन मोनोक्साइडको जुन फायर एक्सटिङ्ग्विसर जुन हाम्रो ग्यास हुन्छ त्यो राखिदिनु हुँदा हामीले आगो लागिसकेपछि पनि तुरन्तै त्यो आगो निभिन सक्छ।
नगरपालिका छ उनीहरूले चाहिँ अब समयमै चाहिँ दमकलको व्यवस्था र फायरम्यानको व्यवस्था चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what's your take on appointing non-parliamentarians as ministers one after another? Your options are A. Disrespect to public vote, B. Misuse of constitutional provision, and C. Political compulsion. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Let's move on to sports update.
Sports news.
Home team Nepal is all set to take on Malaysia on today's match under the T20 Tri-Series. The match is scheduled to kick off 1:15 p.m. at Kantipur's TU ground. Nepal will be looking for their second win of the tournament, while Malaysia in their opening match yesterday were beaten by the Netherlands. Host Nepal in the inaugural match of the tournament had an easy outing against the Dutch side, who at the start of the tournament were favourites to clinch the tournament considering their higher ODI status. Meanwhile, the last time Nepal and Malaysia had come face-to-face was at ACC Eastern Region Asia Cup qualifiers, where Malaysia had emerged as winners. Likewise, the two sides have met 7 times in T20 format, with the equation heavily in favour of Nepal with 5 wins. It's time now for our special segment, Off the Beat. There has been increasing grievances from the local passengers using motorboats on the Saptakoshi River. The motorboat operators have been alleged adopting discrepancies in the fare fixed for visitors and the locals. The visitors have been in the priority of the motorboat operators as they are found to charge more. The motorboat that runs from Sunsari's Chatara to Thankuta's Simle witnesses a massive throng of domestic tourists and local residents from Thankuta, Terathum, Sankosava and Udaipur. There is an agreement between the boat owners and the local people to charge not more than 400 rupees for a one-way distance from Chatara to Simle, while domestic tourists who come here for merrymaking are charged between 1,000 to 3,000 for the two-way travel. There are presently 5 different motorboats running on the waters of Saptakoshi River. The operation of motorboats has greatly benefited the local people for their daily works, while they call for an end to the ongoing discrimination. The tongue-piercing festival of Madhyapurthimi has been held. Bhore's local resident Buddha Krishna Shrestha pierced his tongue for the 8th time to give continuity to the age-old festival. The festival has its connection with the belief that the act of piercing the tongue drives away evil spirits. The festival is held every year on the New Year Day as per national calendar. There is a practice of the man with a pierced tongue going round the major thoroughfare of the city carrying an oval bamboo structure. The festival last year was not held amid the coronavirus pandemic. This is Sarah Chitrakar for our special segment Off the Beat and Kantipur News Desk. That's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will be at 11 a.m. Have a good day.